am curious about how you manage your family and this career. Can you talk to some of the audience that want to get into the industry, are striving to
Yes.
make it, striving to be actors, actresses in this business? What are the sacrifices they should be prepared to make from a family standpoint? And you can say as much as
Yeah.
or as little as you want to
Yeah.
be able to make it and to be able to pursue it in earnest.
Okay. First of all, I love that you asked this question because I think it's so important to know how it can work for somebody. I always say the formula for everyone is always different, right? But if my formula can work for somebody else, then that's amazing. And that's our formula. We had to navigate ourselves because everyone from all of our friends in the industry who had made it far enough were all single, or they were single parenting. And so in a way they had if they had the luxury of like switching off with their co-partner, their co-parent, or for us, we didn't know what we were doing. And we didn't know what we were doing at all. The other thing too is there's a few factors here, right? Because we don't have anyone, we're not related to anyone that has industry experience or footing. And when we first started, we were living in my in-laws' basement. Like my husband and I were newlyweds. We quickly found out that we were pregnant, and a lot of our plans had fallen through because it was just beyond us. Like at the time we were living in Utah, and at the time, believe it or not, there wasn't a lot of family housing. There was either student housing or people who could afford to buy houses. And we didn't want to live in student housing, and we couldn't afford to buy a house. So we had found this one building complex that had one family of renters they had told us like, hey, we're about to move because we are going to start building our home. So we were like, okay, awesome. And it was like, we got married in August, and they were like, we'll be ready to move out by October. We're like, perfect. So we come back from our honeymoon, and they were like, actually, we're not going to move anymore. So we're like, cool, we are living in my in-laws' place right now. And I'm like, what's our plan? And then both of our cars were totaled within 2 weeks.
No way.
Yes. So let me start over. My husband's car was totaled 2 weeks before we got married. And it was just an old car that we drove it to its finish, right? Mm-hmm. And the day after we got married, my car got totaled. Like these are the type of cars that we could afford at the time, right? It's just whatever can take you from point A to point B. And it was just this freak accident. And so we left to our honeymoon knowing we weren't coming back to cars. We came back from our honeymoon to find out we don't have an apartment to go to. And then shortly after found out that we were pregnant. So odds were stacked against us. Yeah. My husband breaks into the industry first, and within the year, we are like, okay, we can do this. We can move out. We can get our own place. We moved from Utah to Georgia, and then the next 5 years after that were me concentrating on our family and my husband concentrating on building his career. So it was very clear that it was, even though we were both pursuing our career very, very passionately and hard before we got married, we very quickly were like, okay, well, I'm the one who's pregnant now, so I will take a backseat while you navigate where we're going next. And that, to be honest, was a hard sacrifice for me at first because I've always been very career driven and very goal oriented. So it was a very stark change. Like right before we got married, I had an online magazine. I had created a blogging network in Utah, and I was modeling helped pay the bills. Okay. And then I got pregnant, so things changed.
Right.
So then like realizing like, okay, I am the stay-at-home parent now. That was a very contrasting, life-changing lifestyle to get used to. And so, like I said, I feel like I'm like, what's the word?
Recalling all the
I'm
details.
ranting. Yeah, I'm
No,
recalling all
no,
this.
no,
It's all
no, no.
coming back to me.
Tell us the story. Tell us the story.
Yep.
We're good.
You got time.
Yep.
So fast forward to, we're 5 years in. We have 2 kids. Once my littlest one hit 2 years old, I kind of felt like, okay, I'm ready to get myself back out there. I started hitting the gym hard. I knew that I wanted to feel good about myself, have a healthy lifestyle, be able to keep up the way I used to before. And so it was a conversation that I had with my husband, and he was very supportive from the very beginning, like, of my career, and I was always supportive of his career. So it was a conversation that had to happen, and a conversation that had to continuously happen. Like, what is the plan? This is what I want to do. How do we make it happen? Okay. So then I started with getting back into acting classes. As an actor, you always want to be in acting classes. And with him, it was just like, okay, what jobs can I pass up on if you have an opportunity? Or how can I serve the home when I'm at home? Or how can I serve the home when I'm at work? So really, it's like, it's this crazy balance of teamwork, because I always think that if your life is situated at home, then you are setting yourself up for the best chances of success outside the home. But if your home is chaos, like, if I don't have somebody to take care of my kids, or if he's working and I'm sick, or we double booked ourselves, whatever the scenario may be, like, we have to be prepared to put our family first. And by putting our family first, that has really been what has set us up for success, like I said.